Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno-monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Thursday the 15th of the 4th 2021. The time is 0455 GMT, Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American US session. Right, yesterday Wednesday the 14th we had a negative opposed driver in the dollar at minus 75, front and back door flows mainly going into the euro at plus 53, into the pound at plus 37, and the yen was the negative rock at minus 15, activity plus or minus 90. Intra-week then becoming more relevant, this is from Monday the 12th of open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative unopposed driver in the dollar at minus 233, no backdoor flows. The opposing positive flows mainly going into the yen at plus 128, into the euro at plus 100, and into the pound at plus 5 as the positive rock. Activity plus or minus 233. Intraday then, this is basically the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive opposed driver in the yen at plus 14, front and back door flows mainly going out of the euro at minus 13, out of the pound at minus 10, and the dollar was the positive rock at plus 9, activity plus or minus 23. Right, what's been knocking this around? Well, we've finally had the AUD employment data, which was medium positive, talked up a little bit better than that, but it's pretty positive. We've got a positive AUD data cycle. Today we've got German CPI and US retail sales. Tomorrow we've got China GDP and Michigan consumer sentiment. Right, let's have a look what's been happening in the flows. So let's get rid of this. And then we've got a little bit to talk about with regards to trades at the end. Right. So, right. Euro then. Euro strong, except against the AUD and the NZD. The yen is strong, except against the euro, the AUD and the NZD. The pound is strong, except against the euro, the dollar and the Swiss. The Swiss is weak across the board. The CAD is weak, except against the Swiss, the dollar and the pound. The AUD is strong, except against the NZD, and the NZD is strong across the board. The dollar is weak, except against the Swiss. Right, so what have we got? We've got Swiss weakness, we've got New Zealand strength across the board, and the interesting thing is the AUD is still slightly underperforming the NZD. Talk about that in a minute. Right, let's have a look. So in terms of the asset classes, right, the asset classes, dollar, US index, basically it broke. It's come back below the previous resistance. Gold basically is 0.25 from the floor. So gold still hasn't taken off the back of this weaker dollar. Oil has come back. It's 0.33 from the high. Wall Street broke and it's about there, sort of relatively speaking. S&P had this double top. It's broken significantly. It's come back just a small amount. The tech, the tech finally broke, but it's now back under that resistance point. US 10-year and the bund. Well, the US 10-year is about 0.33 from the floor. This is the price, remember, so yields have come off, and the bund is also about 0.33 from the floor on our modelling terms. Therefore, yields have completely closed up. The US dollar was leading the way on yields. It's now come back, and they've basically compressed. Right, copper, remember, had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pumps. Came back to the second pump, went back to base camp, and it's messed about, and it's now at 2.5 pumps. So copper has come up. Right, and finally US steel. You're looking at a double top. It was sold off, it broke, and it's now what is it? It's about 0.4 from the high, 0.6 from the floor. Right, so let's just get rid of this and we'll talk about, now we've had to actually reduce our exposure. Yesterday it was quite a moody day if you were selling the New Zealand dollar. Right, so we're short USD against the euro, the pound and the AUD, and we're short NZD against the euro, the pound, the CAD and the AUD. Basically, they're using the NZD. Clearly, the market makers or the big players are using the NZD as the default place to ramp up commodity currencies, despite the deterioration and clearly nonsense of this. They obviously got a target to reach, and they're just going to keep going until they reach. And then the NZD is going to drop off like a cliff. Everybody's going to be running for the exits. We've retraced because we were getting a fair bit of collateral damage. We're about from our peak of 2,900 points profit. Then we went down to about, I don't know, 1,1600. We're now at about minus 600 overall. Minus 600 points, so there's been a swing of about 3,300, probably 3,500 points for us in the negative. We've retraced slightly. We've probably got our positions down to about 60% of what they were, but we're ready for this. We're ready for this epic fail in the New Zealand dollar, which is going to happen very shortly, and we're going to pump in again. So we should make this up and some. We got the dollar softness right. The New Zealand dollar is obviously just being used as the default commodity currency go-to. Now you can't do much about that, but apart from ride the horse. Now. So that's what we're doing. Hope your trades are going well. You know, it's going to take a little while longer for us to get where we want to, but that's showbiz. Right, so see you tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thank you very much.